Hi, good morning. Here we are again in JOYELY Studios. I have been looking forward to this interview all week. So today we have with us Zoie Zimmerman and Greven. Welcome. Did I say that correctly?
You did, absolutely. I'll
Very
answer to anything.
Yes, it's so nice to have you here today. And Greg popped in and recognized our whole concept is joy, and that these two are the people who represent Brooks Running. So for those of you that don't know what Brooks Running is, I'm just going to pop up the logo there real quick, and then I am going to ask Greg to tell me about Brooks Running before we get started, if you don't mind, a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a company that was founded in 1914, and we actually didn't originally start with running shoes. You know that little rubber stopper on the end of a roller skate? That was actually one of our first inventions. So we did basketball shoes, football shoes throughout the 70s and 80s. And about the mid 90s, we decided to just stick to running. People thought it was a little strange and probably not a good business idea to just, pinhole into just that. But then a running boom happened, and we have become kind of the major performance brand in national sporting goods and run specialty stores. Just spreading run happy and spread joy as much as we can, Cheryl.
Now you're all across the world. Is that right, Zoie? You're in every, I think there's 500 people that work for Brooks out of Seattle, Washington in the headquarters. And I know there's lots and lots of stores. Do you know how many stores and where are they located?
So we don't actually have any Brooks stores. We have one that's the trailhead that's connected to our Seattle headquarters, and then we focus all our focus into like our specialty retailers and our national retailers. I could not put a number on how many partners and retail partners that we have across the world. I mean, Greg, could you put a stab at it?
That's okay. That's okay. Lots and lots of partners is perfect. The perfect answer. I totally get the brevity of Brooks. It's massive. So super exciting about that. All right, well, let's jump into our conversation. First of all, you are all safe and well during the coronavirus, and I'm very happy to hear about that. So thank you for that. And where are you in the world, Greg, right now?
I'm in Fredericksburg, Virginia, just about an hour south of our nation's capital.
Okay, and Zoie?
I'm in Columbus, Georgia. I'm about an hour east of Atlanta, or an hour west of Atlanta, sorry.
That's all right, perfect. All right, so you are both titled as, when I called your corporate to find out who to talk to, they said that I needed to talk about the joyful endeavors of my world with their joyful people, which you're called gurus. So Zoie, would you tell me what a guru is, please, at the Brooks Running environment?
Absolutely. A guru is someone who spreads run happy. So Brooks is all about run happy and bringing joy to the sport of the run. And so gurus are kind of the all-knowing of apparel, shoes, the brand, and they place this across the nation and across the world. And we are out there spreading run happy, doing events, clinics, whatever they need us to do.
So you personally, what are you doing during the coronavirus right now to run happy? And how are you engaging others to do the same?
So currently, I mean, it's very digital and virtual. I'm doing a lot of social media takeovers and reaching out to our accounts to make sure that they have all the assets and marketing that they need and any support that they need to move forward during this odd time. And personally, I'm looking to my teammates, looking to my community to get inspiration and continue to run happy. And I hope I can do the same for them.
And how are you running happy? What does that look like on a day-to-day basis? Are you a miler, or are you just a jogger, or long distance? What is it you're doing?
It just depends on the day. I lace up the shoes, and honestly, any day I lace up my shoes and run, I'm running happy. I mean, it's just, I'm happy that I can be able to get outside and enjoy the weather, especially now that it's spring in Georgia. It's not super hot right now. And so just getting outside and feeling the miles in the road underneath my feet, that's running happy to me.
That's awesome. And Greg, how about you? What does your day look like, and how are you upholding the accountability for yourself and others?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my day with my three kids, you can kind of see, above me here. is filled with teaching, which I'm finding out I'm not the greatest of preschool teachers, nor am I really up to par on high school math.
Blessings to all the teachers in the world.
Yes, yes, and my wife is one of them. So she's still doing her job too, but filled with just a lot of time with my kids, doing the same digital stuff that Zoe's doing, kind of just finding ways in the hours in the day, like many parents are out there, adjusting our schedules together so that my wife can do what she's doing, my kids get the needs that they do, and I still can fulfill what I have to do. As far as running accountability, and what I am as a runner, I've kind of been everything. I was competitive in high school and college. Then running shifted into the kind of just something I always did. It became a physical thing after a while, kind of keep the pounds off. And for me right now, I'm a little bit of what we at Brooks call a soul runner, which is I just want to get out every day. I want to run. I want to feel good. I need that mental kind of release to everything. So, whether it's meeting a friend and having them run across the street as we run together and yell back and forth, or some of the stuff that we have done as a team, which is entering some of these running social media platforms and doing little challenges that way and kind of keeping up on each other and making sure that everyone's staying out there and staying fit and active.
What's the resource for that social media platform with the Brooks encouragement and inspiration? Is that something everyone can join into?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a company called Strava that will take the data that you get off your watch, no matter what watch you have, and kind of download it into that. It's a little bit more socially driven than some other things. And we do different challenges on that as a team. You can create groups. We actually have a big Sunrise 6K coming up this coming Wednesday. One of our partners, November Project, is spearheading that, and that's a group that you can find on Strava. And again, it's just to encourage people to get out, to be fit, show what they're doing. You can comment on people, you can have friends out there, and just kind of see what everyone's getting after. And sometimes you look at it and you go, oh man, look what Zoe did today. Like Zoe got up at 5:30 in the morning and put down 8 miles. Like it's raining out. I wasn't going to run this morning. Maybe she's keeping me going.
I love that. I love that Brooks really took the need on a very personal level, right? Everybody kind of gets stuck and they get like, well, who else is doing this? And there you guys are, encouraging and inspiring. So before we move back to Zoe, Greg, what do your kids do when it comes to physical activity right now?
Well, my son is a high school cross country runner, track and field runner. So he's still getting out and logging his mileage, even though his season's, not going to happen right now, but he still likes to do that, play a little basketball in the cul-de-sac. My daughter, Lily, who is I guess, upcoming 8th grader now, she does dance and ballet. So they're doing a lot of virtual classes that way.
Right.
So yeah, every day around 4 o'clock, it's Dad, can you move the car out of the garage? I need to do my ballet. And I kind of made her a makeshift little platform for her to be able to use as a bar. And then my youngest, Penny Kate, she's 5 years old. So, the swing set, anywhere, chalk, whatever it is, she's running around.
That is so awesome.
Just being fit. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And yeah, my wife and I actually have done a yoga challenge, started as 30 days, and we've increased that to the next 30 days, just to have that 20 to 30 minutes together where we say, kids, it's quiet time, go in your room. Mom and dad just need to kind of connect here and give us a break, in the middle of our day.
Beautiful. Sounds like an extremely healthy and well-rounded environment that you have. So,
yep.
So Zoe, what would you say, and welcome back, by the way.
Sorry. The problems of working at home, just the internet.
Perfect. It happens all the time. It's perfect. We'll just keep on going as if it was seamless and never happened. So Brooks is involved in quite a bit of outreach. So could you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So our first community outreach program that we launched was that our heroes wear scrubs. And so Brooks donated shoes to support healthcare workers when fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. We've heard that Brooks is a go-to shoe for many who work long hours on their feet, and our goal was to bring a little more of that comfort to the people working hard to keep our communities healthy. We donated roughly about 10,000 pairs of shoes to healthcare workers, and that went live on April 2nd, and all shoes were claimed within 45 minutes. And so we launched it, and we said, hey, like, we're going to donate 10,000 shoes, and 45 minutes went by and it was closed.
That's
it
insane.
was very powerful.
That's beautiful. Have you heard any feedback about anybody that received a pair of shoes?
A lot of people reached out via social media, Instagram and Facebook, and they would post like, oh, I got my shoes. I'm so appreciative. Thank you. And a lot of thank yous tagging Brooks and stuff. And there's also some other community outreach that Greg can touch on as well.
Okay, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, so our apparel team at our headquarters in Seattle made about 400 masks for our distribution center in Indianapolis. To keep everybody healthy and safe there. And so far, we've had no one come down with COVID in the distribution center, which has been fantastic. You know, and that's trusting that the packages that are coming to people's houses, the shoes that they're getting are safe and clean. Also, we've partnered with a running specialty store, Palmetto Running Company out of South Carolina, started runlocal.org. We donated about 400 shirts to them to be printed. And they're selling these on their websites, and the entire amount of the sale is going directly to the run specialty store of the individual's choosing. And that's to keep sure that, you know, those local small businesses are staying strong, staying open. And, you know, we're going to need them when we all come out of this. And you know, it's just a great partnership.
Wow, it sounds like you have an amazing outreach program or people on that team. That's really great to be part of that. How long have you both been with Brooks, did you say? Greg, how long?
I'm coming up on 2 years.
And Zoe?
I'm about a year and a half.
Okay, very cool. Is the guru idea new, or is that been around a while?
No, that's been around a long time.
Okay.
And yeah, the gurus are littered all throughout our company and all levels, from, you know, marketing teams to footwear, to even a lot of our leadership. They were gurus back in the early 90s, early 2000s. You know, the program's always evolved, but it's been great. I mean, our global VP was a guru. That tells you how strong standing, you know, the program is.
I love it. So Zoe, I know we talked a little bit about some online social media ideas for people to do to stay connected, but what would you tell them, you know, like if they're saying my gym is closed, I don't have the weights that I need, I don't have the treadmill that I had or the elliptical that I use, like what would you suggest? Maybe if I said, you know, I like to run, but not like every day, it's not really all that fun. What would you recommend?
Yeah, I've had these same conversations with people. I've just been encouraging them to use items around the house that people have been using cans, or a lot of things is their dogs. Like I tell them to pick up their dogs. I have a 50-pound English bulldog. I love picking her up, and I mean, it's a workout in itself. And to just get outside. Even if it's just going for a walk after dinner, I mean, that makes a huge difference. I've just been trying to be proactive and telling people that it's okay to use other things, to get creative, to work out with your kids, work out with your spouse, just stay active and use things around the house. And usually it takes a minute for them to break that barrier, but once they do it, they're like, you know what, this is fun. I like this.
That's awesome. And Greg, if you want to add to that, and in addition, maybe talk a little bit about mindset, like what do you got to do to even think about going outside after dinner for a walk? Because sometimes it's kind of difficult, especially with the news and you're just not feeling so good. What might you say to that to our listeners?
Yeah, you know, it's just the mental clarity of it all, to kind of relax, to unwind. We've actually seen so many brand new runners and walkers come about. I mean, it's the one thing you can get outside and do. And if you've been in your house all day, you know, just feel like you're stuck there to your apartment, whatever it is. I would say just that mental, you know, relief to get out there, be in nature. I mean, what has nature done right now? And kind of come back to life. There are animals everywhere. The grass is growing. Rivers are cleaning out.
The smog is cleared up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And really that all goes back to kind of a new campaign we've started which is find some run happy. And that's really to get out and find run happy wherever you can. And that could be doing stairs in your house. People have been doing indoor house miles. We had a guy run a marathon on a balcony. I mean, it's whatever the imagination can bring that way. You know, and that's the beauty of social media and connecting us. It could be, you know, where we all are right now, the three of us, as well as overseas, wherever it is, you can find it all over the place. And it's just to keep everyone going.
Yeah, I have a mountain right outside my window, and it's so fun to actually see. I'm in Las Vegas, by the way. It's so fun to see families and groups and laughing, and it's just, you know, everybody's doing their social distancing thing, but it's just a lot more. It's a different energy, and it's fabulous to see. Zoe, I had a question there for you about the mindset. Just generally, what are you saying to people? Oh, I know what it was. What if I'm not a runner and I want to be? What if I want to be like the Run Happy Brooks guru someday? Like, what would you recommend? I think right now I try to run 100 steps at a time and then walk, and it's enough for me. It keeps me active. But what might you say?
One of my favorite things is Brooks has the 10 steps of being a runner. And it's something that we put out, and all it is the 10 steps are left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, all the way to 10. That's all it takes to be a runner.
I love it.
A lot of times out in the field or even in the social media realm, we have these conversations with people and they're like, oh, I'm not a runner. And it's like, well, what do you do to stay active? And they're like, oh, well, I run about 3 miles a week. I'm like, then you're a runner. That's all it takes is you just run 400 meters. You're a runner in my book. And I just tell people it just takes that first step. Just keep showing up, make it a habit, and just keep on keeping on. That's what I
love that concept that you said, Zoe, that a lot of people think that running is for other people, like the really well-dressed people with all the gear and, you know, doing marathons and all of that. But running is for everyone, and walking, just like you said, it's like we all have two legs, and we can get outside and take our dogs and our kids and our, you know, grandmas and grandpas and moms and dads and all of that. So, all right. Thank you for that. That was awesome. So what's going on right now, Greg? I know you're being a teacher and working hard and working online and doing a lot of things, but what are you finding right now during the COVID that's giving you the most joy? Like, maybe there's a story or something that's just moves you. If you'd love to share that, I'd love to hear it.
Absolutely. But first, you know what's really bringing me joy right now, Cheryl, is your chair.
I know.
Look at that glamorous. I got this wooden kitchen chair, you know. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, thank you for that. The JOYELY chair is, so we're launching our organization not till May 30th. So it's, the idea of this chair is for people to sit in it when we do get it, when we do have the ability to take it to events, but it's to help people remember to sit still, and that the answers are inside, and that we don't need to run out and spend a lot of money on classes and education as far as living our purpose and living joyfully. Like, it's right here. And just if we could take some deep breaths. And so it's really, it's just trying to get people to, it gave me an opportunity to talk about it. So thank you. But the point is to bring it out into the world, and we'll be doing that very soon.
I love it.
I'll get me one of those.
Thank you.
But to answer your question, you know, I think it's seen everyone slow down a little bit and just kind of realize the true importance of life, and that family is around right now a lot, and we're having to figure all that out. And you know, it's not just sending our kids out to school and expecting teachers to take care of everything. So I think it's a reappreciation of a lot of stuff, from teachers to the postal workers, you know, and anybody, grocery store workers, all throughout. We're realizing just how much we rely not just on those people, but on each other. So whether it is reaching out, I mean, I did a Zoom call the other week with my mother's entire family to celebrate her eldest sister's 80th birthday. These are people I'd never met. Some of my cousin's children that, you know, maybe live out in California, or back where I grew up in Massachusetts, and just the beauty of that, to see people reconnect. And I think the thought of that joy is how it's going to change everything as we go on. This virtual world that we're in is going to continue to, to bring that joy to everybody. So I think that it's going to evolve. Things are going to look a little different, but we're going to remind ourselves to take a step back. And you know what? A virtual happy hour on a Friday night with some old friends, you can still do that. You can still go and hang out at your favorite bar or restaurant and see people that way. But to kind of reconnect in a way that we never had before, and we let life just kind of go by, Cheryl.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Greg. Those are all quotable moments, so I'll be extracting. But yeah, it took my mom the first time almost 2 hours to get Zoom fired up. But after that, it's been glorious. She's like, "Yep, I got this. Here I am." So before we go to Zoe and Greg, I just want to ask, what was the great aunt's name?
My aunt Tame.
Somi?
Yes.
And so what was can you describe what happened to her when everyone gathered? What was her?
She really, joy is the perfect word. She was just overtaken by it, and just to see everybody. It was funny because there wasn't much direction. It's not like a work call where we're with someone, there's a main person and they're talking through everything. It was just a lot of everyone smiling and saying hi to each other, and kind of some of these, happening a little bit here and there. So it was great for her to see that. We had actually planned to be in Long Island for her 80th birthday party, and so my cousin set it up so that we could all kind of be there for her. It wasn't as much of a surprise, but she was really surprised to see the entire breadth of the family, from all my cousins, her nieces, her nephews, her own children, that she's been separated from during this, even though they're 2 miles down the road.
Beautiful. I bet she's a walker. I bet she stays physical. She's a healthy
there's a beach right across there. She gets on the boardwalk and just goes, and that's stuff where, to really continue on with that, that's where you see that person and they're still getting out there at whatever age, whatever weight, whatever it is. And that inspiration is truly there. It's like you were saying before, you don't have to be, a world record holder, a competitive runner to really be considered runners. We think everyone's a runner. It's not, you're a jogger, you're a runner. Everyone's a runner. Like Zoe said, one foot in front of the other.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Did you send Aunt Somi a gift of Brooks shoes?
Not yet. She likes the glam of a high heel a little bit more, which is something maybe our development team will get into.
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Zoe. So back to these juicy stories. Have you seen anything fun and exciting that you've been participating in, or a story, or just some kind of joy that maybe you haven't ever seen before during this time?
I wouldn't say any new experiences, but part of being a guru is travel. So we all have these territories. So I cover the whole state of Georgia and southeastern Alabama, and we do a lot of driving and a lot of cross-country travel. And so I agree completely with Greg that part of the joy is being able to slow down. I've missed a lot of my nephews growing up just traveling and being busy with a career. And so this pandemic has allowed me to reconnect with my family and really see my nephews. My nephews are Slade and Knox. They're 2 and 4, and it's just been an absolute joy to see them. Every time I see them now, they run up to me and hug me, and it brings me pure happiness. And I'm thankful that during this time that we're able to see family, and it's brought me a lot of joy. It might not be a new experience, but it's new to me, I guess, and it's really, really makes me really happy.
That's awesome. And on that note, what is the line of Brooks shoes? Like, what sizes? Is there a children's?
We used to make Brooks kids shoes, but we do not, unfortunately, anymore. We just make men's and women's. The kid market is a little hard.
Yeah. And so it's all the apparel and the shoes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have everything that a runner would need from head to toe. So we do like to embrace that we are Brooks Running Company. And so we have apparel, run bras, shoes, socks, hats, visors, whatever a runner would need on the run as far as apparel and shoes. That's what we have.
That's awesome. You want to add anything to that, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, Zoe actually go back and talk about it because she's great at talking about it. But our new line of run bras is absolutely amazing. I mean, my wife loves them, but just some of the technology we put into it. We actually have a campaign right now called the Hidden Mile, which really talks to basically over the length of a marathon. If you run in an unsupported bra, you're basically running about an extra mile that Mr. Easy Life over here isn't doing. So, you know, to make sure in this with virtual fittings that are happening with shoes, I know certain stores are also doing virtual bra fittings. And that's one thing that the female gurus are fantastic at, is all these bra fittings and guiding people into the right stuff. Because wearing 2 sports bras, or, you know, I always tell jokey stories about walking in after a run and my wife is like stuck in her sports bra and she's got an elbow hanging out and some other stuff hanging out. And she's like, I'm going to Hulk it out and just rip through it. So finding something that really works for that.
Well, I cannot wait to get one of those. Zoe, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. The big thing about these that I love, and Greg touched on it, the Hidden Mile, is that we changed our verbiage from sports bras to run bras. And so in the past, our bras used to be separated into low, medium, and high impact. And so you would have to have this conversation of what exercise are you doing, and you would have to really figure out, all right, is this bra going to support the lady or not? And with this new run bra line, it's if the bra fits, you will be able to run in it. These bras are designed to support the ladies on the run. And that's what I love. I absolutely love. They're relatively seamless and they're all laser cut with intentional perforation. I mean, I don't even feel like I have a bra on, and that's how it's supposed to be. Brooks is very good about, we want all of our apparel and shoes and bras to be distraction free. The biggest thing that a runner hates is to be distracted on their run. Nobody wants to be running or walking and pulling at their shirt or pulling at their straps or trying to fix their shoes. I mean, that is the absolute worst thing on a run. And so everything that we make is distraction free, and it's
I love that.
Nice.
That's very, very incredible that the detail is there for runners. I'm sure that they appreciate that very much. So talk to me a little bit, Zoe, about events before and after. Like, what do you think? Is there going to be a difference? Is it going to be less, more? Well, any ideas? Can you guess?
Yeah. We are still trying to figure out what that looks like moving forward. But from conversations that I've had, I don't think it'll be a less or more. I think it'll just be different.
Okay.
I think it'll be a mix between, yes, we'll still have some events in person, but I think that we'll also develop into some virtual events. I actually just had an account reach out to me last night about hosting a virtual happy hour for a ladies' night. And so, I mean, super exciting that accounts are willing and wanting to do this stuff virtually. And so I don't know if, like I said, there's going to be a difference of less or more. I think it's just going to be different. And I'm excited for that change.
Absolutely. And so what, Greg, do you think is the next event that you might, is there something on the calendar that's solid in the fall, or can you talk to that?
I mean, we hope everything comes back and the world starts spinning again. Our biggest event as the brand is the Marine Corps Marathon. We've had a long-standing partnership with them. And really, that's, for me, that's just up the road. And I've worked with the Marine Corps Marathon people for a long, long time. So I think, you know, we're hoping that goes through. I know some of the fall marathons are already starting to actually get canceled just based on sheer volume of sizes. But I think you are going to see a lot of these virtual aspects for those races that have gotten canceled. The virtual aspect has definitely been there. The historic half that is in Fredericksburg, Virginia, that is supposed to be in a couple of weeks. They're doing a virtual piece to it. There's some neat elements that are going with it too. I actually recorded about a minute-long piece that will play while you hit this kind of vaunted what's called Hospital Hill. It's a half-mile hill. Zoe ran it last year, and
awful.
Yeah, it's something else. But that kind of stuff that is still incorporating someone where they feel like they're in it. So I think some of that is going to continue to change. Our partnership with the Rock and Roll Marathon series, they're doing a whole virtual series, now as well. So I think some of that, and again, that's a part of all you got to do to run is step out your door. It's not always getting in a group, and having the road shut down and there being water everywhere. You can loop in and around to your house and do the old school way of leaving a water bottle and a gel on the back of your tailgate or hidden under a tire or whatever it is. And a lot of people have been doing that. The Boston Marathon was supposed to be this past Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And my Strava was littered with people running marathons on that Saturday, Sunday, or Monday of just saying, hey, I was supposed to be in Boston. I was supposed to do this. I'm still trained. I'm going to go out there and do it. So I think even all that stuff, while things may not happen in the traditional sense, I think they're going to still continue on in the breadth of it.
Absolutely. And I think you're going to have, like you said before, the sales of shoes are up. And I think the reason is because people are going, well, I had to figure this out. So here I am. And so now what? In relationship to physical wellness, Zoe, there's more to physical fitness than running. So I think that food and, drinking water is really important too. What might you say to our listeners about that right now during this time?
Absolutely. I've actually had many conversations about hydration. A lot of people I know when they work and stuff, they carry these big jugs around, and I've had conversations of saying, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting to drink water. I'm at home, I'm on my computer or my phone all the time. I'm forgetting to drink water. It's starting to get hot and humid down here in the South. Like, what do I do? And it's just accountability buddy. It just goes back to, I always tell people, find an accountability buddy. I'm an accountability buddy to two people. I text them randomly throughout the day and say, hey, hydrate, make sure you drink water. And I actually have my very best friend who she'll text me and say, hey, is this an appropriate meal? And I can kind of help her out with, no, you should probably cut back on that, or vice versa. And I think it just all goes back to accountability. I think people should reach out and have people hold them accountable for their goals while we're at home. Because I know that a lot of people go into workplaces and they might have Greg at the office in HQ, and Greg is there to help them. Hey, have you hydrated? Hey, did you want to go get lunch? Go get a salad or whatever. I think it's just important to have that accountability buddy virtually, since some people are not around their accountability buddies elsewhere.
Yeah. Absolutely. And accountability, I think, is really the ability to ask. So it's not just in physical fitness or spiritual, emotional, but, business, like people are feeling stuck, like somebody wants to help you. So just to have that sensibility that if I ask, somebody will help me. And I think that more than ever, the answer on the other end of the phone is going to be absolutely, if I can't do it, I'll find somebody who can. So thank you for that. I think powerful. If you're out there and you're like, I don't know, this is just kind of weird, I don't really have anybody. So like text me or text one of the gurus, and I'll put your contact information in the bottom. And I'm sure that no matter what the need is, I'm sure you can support them. So anyway, we're here for you. Absolutely. So a couple more questions. So as far as we talked about events, as far as I just want to hear about the unfolding of joy for each of you with Brooks. Like, I feel like it's such a mammoth company, like every single day you're waking up. And so I'm curious what that's about. Like, where's the actual joy in your job right now? Why did you come and take this job? Greg, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Competitor of ours. Yeah. I've worked at a competitor of ours before I joined Brooks, and been in the run specialty, for a long, long time. But I would say it's the way Brooks thinks about its employees. A lot of our competitors right now have furloughed their employees. The people in our same field, the tech field, 30, 60, 90 days coming up. And there was a commitment from our company to say, we're going to keep all of you employed. We know how important it is for us to still be
Wow.
out there inspiring people and making sure they're running. And, now's the time we have to check up on our retailers, right? And see if they're okay, if they have employees that have been furloughed, out. We're checking in with we have a program that Zoe actually heads up called our ambassadors, and they're people that work at our stores all throughout the nation. And we're checking in with them and seeing how they're doing. And, if they're furloughed, hey, you still getting out running, still doing this? Hey, let me send you something, just to kind of keep them engaged. And there's been a lot of positive feedback from our retailers saying, we're so impressed that you've made this dedication. We want to carry through that. And it really is. This company is so run happy, Cheryl. It is unbelievable. You notice
I
at
can
the
feel
moment.
it. I can absolutely feel it. Like I can't wait to get my shoes on and run right now.
Yeah. And everyone is absolutely that way all throughout the company. There's no sense of hierarchy. Like I said, there's gurus everywhere throughout the company. They all know what we do. We're the tip of the spear. They say we're the most important piece of the company because we're the most consumer facing. We could be out anywhere. We could be visiting stores and someone might go, oh, Greg, is that you? And then you get in a conversation. It's hard for me to walk around my town and not bump into someone that I already know, and just be that positive piece in their life.
That's beautiful. I can feel the corporate culture, from the first contact I made with Brooks. It's just like they're open, they want to help. What can we do? And that has to trickle all the way down, to the people who are, tying up the shoelaces in the morning. And I think that's huge and so really important. How about you, Zoe? What's the thing that drives you every day with your joining forces with Brooks?
I would say, Greg nailed it right on the top.
Sure.
The moment that I heard Brooks say, we want to make sure that we make it through this time whole as a team, it just filled my heart with, and again, the right word is joy. It filled my heart with joy because I'm like, I know I'm in the right company. The biggest piece of joy that I'm getting from Brooks right now is my team. So I love to say it, but last night as a team, we had a game trivia night just to boost morale. It's been difficult. We're all doing jobs that we're not usually doing. It's just a different time for all of us. And so to make sure that everybody's okay and that we stay connected as a team, the East Coast team hosted a trivia night, and Greg was our
Here we go. We played a little guru party like Jeopardy, but for the gurus. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Keep us engaged. Those that are, handling our customer service piece right now, just to reincorporate them and not lose touch. Our weekly meetings have changed. So she's actually absolutely right. The team aspect is just absolutely fantastic.
Beautiful. I just want to put this screen up here again. Zoe, look at the attitude and look at the energy that you guys have. It's mind blowing. And so I just want you to know how exciting it is to meet both of you. And I look forward to a continuing conversation with many. How many gurus are there, by the way?
They're about 26 when we're at full capacity, about 26 throughout that's just in the US alone, actually.
Okay.
There's several up in Canada and several overseas in all the countries in Europe.
Okay. Zoe, any final remarks you'd like to add? We've covered a lot. And so I think that anybody watching today has really felt your hearts. They felt the culture, the beautiful culture at Brooks. And I think that's important to I'm sure many people know, but just to reiterate it and let people know that you're out there if they need anything. So any website or anything you'd like to share, Zoe, as far as what people could do to stay connected?
Yeah, I would recommend brooksrunning.com absolutely all the way. There's a lot of different assets that you can find on there, as well as, you can see our product, but you can also just get a lot of positivity through that website. We actually have a shoe finder, and we have different assets on our website that can help you if you feel lost and you might be that person that doesn't feel comfortable talking to someone else. You're like, I don't want to seem like I don't know what I'm doing. We have things on our websites and different assets on our website that can help you make decisions or help you find what you need without talking to anybody. And so I would love to bring people to brooksrunning.com and just join our culture. It would be, I mean, it's fun. It's run happy.
I got you, Zoe. Anything else, Greg?
Yeah, I'll just reiterate with kind of our, run happy is our mantra, but kind of our mission statement is that the run can change a day, a life, the world. And that's what we really believe at Brooks as a company, that just stepping outside and walking, running, whatever it is. A lot of the mornings, I've been running for about 30 years now, and a lot of the mornings like this morning, it was pouring rain, about 50 degrees. And I really didn't want to get out and run. But I say it all the time. The moment I start running, I don't regret it. It's one foot in front of the other. And, sometimes even during the run, it's pretty miserable. But there is nothing like finishing, whether it's 1 mile, 2 mile, whatever it is, right? Everyone has their different, distance that is big for them. That kind of enjoyment, that mental, high in a way, that runner's high, there's nothing like it in the world, that accomplishment of what you're going to feel like. And that's when Run Happy shows up for me.
That's beautiful. Well, I think we'll leave it on that note. The thing that stuck out to me more, as even more than Aunt Somi, which was a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. What Zoe said about the 10 steps, one step, 2 step, 3 step, all the way to 10, and then run happy and get it done. 1 mile, 2 miles, 10 miles, whatever your heart desires. So thank you both for being part of it. You're a blessing, and it's just it's amazing. I'm sure Brooks is very thankful to have you. So you guys have a great day, and thanks again.
Thank you too, Cheryl. Appreciate having us on.
Absolutely.